Welcome back to Gears of War Judgment. Yes, we're back at the main menu. Why? Because now we can play the Aftermath campaign that takes place that's basically an interquel during the story of Gears of War 3. So let's see what Cole and Baird were doing while Dom was dying.
What, yelling about how pointless this bloody trial is?
No,
Oh,
remember,
this is way
the
out.
trial is done.
This is the Gears of War. This is part of the Gears of War 3 story. So technically, no, this is that got nothing to do with what we played before.
Well, maybe they'll be about to think about how worthless they are in general.
This Aftermath campaign is basically what I think the DLC of Gears of War 3 should have been.
Gears of War 3.
See, they even started like that.
Azura. No pictures, but plenty of data and maps.
Well, already you have my interest more than the actual campaign of Judgment did.
Some kind of
Well, yeah, because it's reminding you of the best game in the series.
artificial hurricane around the island. It looks like the only way in is to go under it.
Well, there's an old sub laid up at the shipyard in Endeavor.
All right. Baird, Cole, you go find reinforcements. Sub or no sub, we'll be screwed if we don't get some backup. We need transport, weapons.
So yeah, you might remember how in the original game we started from the perspective of Marcus. So now in this game, let's see what Cole and Baird were up to during this point.
Off at Halvo Bay, 24 hours before Adam Phoenix, released the immersion cure.
There is one particular reason why they put this in this game.
Oh, they're with Carmine?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, remember to Carmine. Yeah.
I remember Carmine
Paduk
actually.
shows up. Okay, here's the thing. You could have so easily made it so that this is a new character, so you don't have to put this in Judgment. Like, I still defend that this DLC would have been a much better thing to do with the Gears of War 3 DLC.
I just love that he shows up like that. Yeah, yes, guys, I was totally here the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, if it helps, he's also gonna make a cameo in Gears 5.
Yeah,
What's the trope called when you put in the newer character and an older
Remember
game
the new guy?
Yeah, that.
I think.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's more so the fact that because Marcus and Dom were not around during the Judgment campaign, Marcus and Dom don't know anything about him, and Baird never properly introduced them to them. It's only in Gears 5 when we get to that point.
Yes, the crossover that everyone was asking for.
Well, at the very least, I'm sure Taylor will appreciate the fact that they're not just pretending Judgment didn't happen, since Taylor doesn't like it when the developers do that.
I mean,
retcon stuff just because people didn't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, or completely ignore a title in continuity-wise, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Did you mean in general?
Like even Metal Gear, despite the people having mixed reception about portable ops, still referencing it. Sure, in the classic Kojima tongue-in-cheek way, but you know it's there.
It's still there. Like it's more so. Yes,
if I may.
Sorry.
If I'm to be fair, it wouldn't really have been a case of, pretending that Judgment didn't happen, seeing as how, well, to be fair, the characters that knew about Judgment's events were never really the main focus of the newer games. Granted, it's nice that, we got reference to it, but, if it hadn't gotten referenced, I wouldn't exactly put it in the category of them pretending it never happened. Unless, it's more so a case of, Baird and Cole never really brought up these other guys.
Oh, so apparently now you can be kinda dead.
No, sure, I can agree with that. I mean, the Coalition's games have far bigger problems than that.
Didn't the Coalition make the recent one?
Gears 5, yes. Well, the Coalition...
No, the spin-off, I mean.
Oh, Gears Tactics. No, Gears Tactics was made by,
Splash Damage.
Flash Damage, that's it.
Here's the thing, dudes. The spin-off's made by a different company. So, no, the Coalition can't even get credit for the, good Gears games these days.
Don't worry, dudes. I'm sure Gears Pop came out just super.
That's why everyone remembers it.
Actually, Gears Tactics was a co-production between Splash Damage and the Coalition.
Most likely what happened was the Coalition was mostly doing supervisory work.
Yeah.
And Splash Damage is British, so...
More like sort of a reverse situation of what happens usually, because, again, starting with Ultimate Edition, Splash Damage has been working exclusively on the multiplayer aspect. of the
It's
game.
kind of like, it's kind of a similar to how even though Ready at Dawn made God of War Chains of Olympus, the one who wrote the game was actually
Oh, hail the
That's
magic
that was a huge
console!
award. Ricola!
Oh, hail the magic console!
Quick, into the service station at the bottom of the
It's
street.
Skittle inside. There you go. See, this is what the main campaign of this game could have used more. Something, more set pieces to mix things up.
It's amazing.
You know?
Like, we've literally just started this campaign, and already it's starting to feel like the best part of this entire game.
Why we wear all
Yeah,
this
it's
armor?
basically the missing chapter from Gears 3. So,
Also, Baird, to answer your question, compared to the previous games, you actually wear less armor than usual. You know.
it's a shame that it's still running on the Gears of War Judgment engine, which means I still have to
The
handle
controls.
the bullshit change for no reason controls. So that.
One really
Oh,
does
well.
have to wonder why they made that change, especially since how this
don't
literally
you see,
takes
Joe?
place during the original game's event, so it's even more jarring. Also,
Don't you see? But Jova, don't you see? Mapping the homing attack to the square/X button was a brilliant idea. on our
honestly,
part.
this is even more stupid than that.
It is, but it's the same principle. It's the same principle. Like, it's just like, why?
No, I mean, it really does beg the question, why did Epic think that, oh, this would mean that people wouldn't beat the game as quickly as they normally would if it was at its normal gameplay structure? Like,
I don't fucking know, to be honest. Whatever. Moving on.
Hey, is this fog normal?
I mean, you're close to the water.
Basically, but yeah, like I was saying, it's like how Ready at Dawn made God of War Chains of Olympus, even though the actual writing was in by Cory Barlog from Santa Monica.
Oh shit.
yep, checkers.
So yeah, it can be like that. How, and I actually did see the credits because when I watched the YouTube movie of Gears Tactics, so I could catch up on the story and lore.
Okay,
Because
okay.
I'm not gonna play the game, but I still want to know the story so I can properly assess it. Since I will actually be paying attention to how things go since I'm this deep in already. Why not, right?
Okay, to be fair, this fog level, there is actually a good setup for some horror here and there.
Yeah. Again, you can tell this is basically. I wouldn't be surprised if this is deleted content from free that they now decide to put in.
It's amazing
and
how
finish.
the quality and everything seems to go up significantly with this expansion of this extra campaign of the game.
I'm gonna say it's thanks to Carmine's presence. I don't know, maybe it's just that, luck.
Like I said, we care more about Carmine than we did the characters in the actual Judgment campaign. Probably because,
Yes, I suppose. Sure,
Okay.
go on.
by principle, we knew that they were gonna survive, Carmine, it's never really something that's certain for us.
It also has to do with the nostalgia aspect, of course, because the running gag. It's kind of similar to how what Final Fantasy VI did with Sid, in the sense that Sid didn't even need to be a super duper developed character. The fact that he's called Sid already makes him a nostalgic character that fans are somewhat familiar with, because he's a recognizable tradition. So that alone gives a connection between the character and the
They
fans.
headed for that rig, right?
But yeah. Whereas I actually saw the credits of Gears Tactics, and basically Tom Bissell is credited as supervising the he didn't write Gears Tactics, and it shows.
So
But,
who actually is the writer?
I don't remember the names, but Tom Bissell is credited as supervising it though. The last person I want supervising a Gears script is Tom Bissell, but hey, I guess Rod thought he was a good person to do so.
To be fair, maybe Supervisor was just, one of those, one of those icon positions where, he's put there mainly as like a figurehead as opposed to having as much power over the writing as one would think. Like, Supervisor does not mean that you okay, it's not quite say equal to being a consultant or like an editor per se. Supervisor is just overseeing the whole thing. It doesn't necessarily mean he has power over how they'll get to write it or whatnot.
Or maybe Tom was just a yes man for that situation. Was like, sure,
Like-
let me see the script. Runs like for 3 seconds. Yeah, good enough.
Like
Go.
I said to you, figure.
It's actually no good enough. Good enough is not good in his case. You have to be Bissell.
Like I said to you, figurehead position.
Everybody, get back and find some cover.
Exactly. All right. Continuing to the interesting thing is that in this aftermath campaign, there's not even any of the extra challenges that the judgment.
Oh yeah, you had to do them to unlock these. So I think it's a bit redundant to introduce them here.
I mean, I guess if they'll probably have to put something extra to unlock with them.
Also, with the architecture and all this fog, you think Baird's team is just enter accidentally Silent Hill.
Yeah, again, it's just I wouldn't be surprised if this is deleted content from Gears 3 that they decided to finish and repurpose as extra content for this game.
Damn, the quality is there.
So yeah, the atmosphere is definitely on point. Again, this is exactly how I think a Gears of War game should look like. Like it still looks gloomy to create that, like you guys said, in this particular section, Silent Hill-like atmosphere.
Headshots.
While at the same time remaining just colorful enough that it doesn't look boring. So it's a good balance, I would argue, which is why, and I'm at the very least glad that the Coalition kept that for Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I just wish they would have kept that balance for Gears 4 and 5 as well. But
Where are you going? Finding new ammo. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, even the music sounds better.
Yeah.
Well, remember Steve Jablonski did the score for Gears of War 2 and 3.
Oh, I guess it's the track from 3 reutilized.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Okay, one thing you maybe kept from the main campaign of Judgment though is the overabundance of enemy going at you.
Gotta pad this shit out too.
Okay, now we can go on.
Do you still do the third tower defense sections even in this campaign?
No, this is a more straightforward Gears of War experience.
Wow.
Again, all the signs point to this being deleted content from the third game that they finished, just to serve as an extra for this game. It still functions with the
controls.
No, not just the controls. It also has the that particular type of level. It's probably because it's tied to the engine. Maybe they couldn't just have the seamless thing where the game never stops. Well, actually, never mind. Hold on. I think I'm mistaking it for something else now. Never mind.
Anyway, on we go.
Checkpoint.
Onward.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, now that I'm thinking clearer, yeah. They also removed the structure of the Judgment campaign, where remember how every time you finish a section, you press up and there's a little results screen.
Kidding? Subtleties are specialty.
So they also removed that. So the game is now back to seamless progression, like the original trilogy, in 4 and 5.
Okay, if they actually did change up the development process for this part of the game, that is, well, I gotta say, props to details.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Well, this was still made. That's the thing too. It's been a long time. To be perfectly honest, I don't even remember what my thought process was at the time. It's been a while since I recorded.
Sure.
I think I was looking for something, but I don't remember what. Or maybe I'm just exploring because I don't know.
I mean, as Paduk says, there are multiple ways supposedly for this mod. But although obviously the path will be more linear.
All right.
The power's out. Something must have happened to our generator. It's around here somewhere.
All right. I know how this works. We have to investigate something that glows.
Pretty much.
Or just kick something. I mean, that's usually how it works.
No, Tail. We karate chop it. That's all we do.
I don't think you did that with the door just now.
Enemy spotted!
Yes, Cole, thank you.
This was a vent. Keep moving!
It's not the answer to the argument, Baird.
Headshot. Yes.
There we go.
So in terms of enemy variety, I've seen that you still get mostly enemies, also the variety of Judgment itself, rather than the locals with their own free. Because I've seen like a couple of the models. That's because again, like I mentioned, apparently in 3 the locals had split into 2 factions after the event of Jacinto.
Yeah.
So these are like not the one affiliated with the Queen.
Oh,
Also,
Pedro,
charge your
you're-
controller.
My controller batteries are low. Oh well. Fortunately, it's still enough. It was still enough to finish this part. I actually forgot to turn off the
Turn on
messages.
notifications. Yeah.
Like I remember, I remember
Why were you
Okay.
sawing?
I
Why were
remember the
you?
one time where
Why were you sawing the stand page, though?
Because I hate stands. You know, this is okay, how about this? The Cloud hates boxes thing. I'm doing the Baird hates stands.
Oh, I guess he's not a JoJo's Bizarre
Once you
Adventure
saw
fan.
everything, give a clear cut.
Yes. You see, Joe, it's always Baird that shoots down the Cabbage Salesman stands. So.
God.
man, how could you?
But I thought they were growing tomatoes here in this universe.
They are not cabbages though.
Cabbages
Uh,
don't exist in this world.
Baird doesn't like vegetables.
Oh, at least they're not growing tomato.
Alright, let's see. What else? And...
Artillery fire!
Nobody else?
Where, Carmine?
Ben, anyone at my camp is hurt.
Hey, how is this our fault?
We haven't had locusts here in months. All of you, this way. They keep coming.
Alright, go ahead, Paduk, lead the way.
If
But
you'll
first, let me see if
follow
there's any
him.
ammo. Well, first I want to check if there's some ammo. Hold on, Paduk.
Hey, look, you got 3 for free on your ammo count.
Oh, there you go. See, the tail. I actually found the Bull Talk pistol. That's the pistol that the Colonel uses in the climax. There you go.
Okay.
Anyway, very clever, Pedro. 343 bullets left.
Mortars have us pinned down. Take
Yes.
them out.
It's clearly intentional, Jova.
It was clearly intentional. Clearly.
Totally. Oh, look, a
Anything?
shooting star. Make a wish.
Yeah. It's about as obvious as the MCU in Dark Phoenix.
Wait, is that seriously a theory going around?
No, Joe. But the forces that come in to arrest
Oh,
the mutants in
right.
The mutant
Yes,
containment
yeah,
unit,
The mutant
the
containment
mutant
unit.
containment unit, the MCU.
Because
Yeah.
that's not on the nose at all.
Oh,
Like I said in the commentary, I'm surprised there wasn't Captain Feige in that.
Yes, might as well while you're at it.
Dark Phoenix in gen...
Salty much, Mr. Kimberg?
Dark Phoenix in general might as well be called Saltiness the X-Men movie.
Salt
Although it
needs
was,
the-
although bizarrely, that was the best part of the movie, the whole end train sequence.
Well, probably because it was one of the reshoots, so they had a more clear idea of what to do, how to conclude.
So you're
Yes,
telling me a train sequence turned out to be better than a space battle?
To be fair, Jova, at that point, if I had to hazard a guess, remember, Dark Phoenix was supposed to be the start of a new trilogy, just like New Mutants, who I have to see in a couple of days, after this day of recording.
I've heard not kind things about.
But so if I had to guess, originally the space battle at the end was supposed to set up, the events for the future movies, probably involving more of the Dark Phoenix and maybe the Shi'ar, for example.
But here's the problem.
But they just having too hastily reconverted this. Supposedly the excuse was because Captain Marvel had one and they had to think of something else, even though I'm not sure I'm convinced entirely.
But the one in Captain Marvel was just kind of mediocre. You could have kept it in and shown it up, maybe.
Yeah, here's the problem. They could only go off of what they knew. All they knew was that Captain Marvel was going to have a space battle thing, so they thought, well, crap, we can't do the same thing. But like Grizz mentioned...
Not to mention, original reports said that the first draft of the movie was supposed to be more inspired by Civil War of all things, which has nothing to do with Dark Phoenix Saga.
I did like that kind of meta joke, because usually when we finish all the locusts in a section, someone always says, oh, that's all of them. And Carmine just said it, but then suddenly more show up and very quickly like, Carmine, don't say that's all of them until you make sure that it is indeed all of them.
Did the game just like suddenly woke up or something?
Yeah, basically too.
Let's see, the
aside from the
writing...
control scheme, everything is different.
Let's see,
basically.
the writing is better, the visuals are better, the pacing is better.
That's because, Teo, like I said, we're playing Gears of War 3 again.
Again. Like I said, though, I mean, did they, like, just get the original team from Gears 3 to work on this section of the game? Like, it feels
I'm still convinced that the script was already pre-made, and most of the assets probably were made, so it was just a matter of them finishing it, basically.
If I had also to hazard a guess, Jova, maybe this is the section Epic Games worked on, while they allowed the people Can Fly to actually, do the proper Judgment campaign to see how we could handle it. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be ironic? Epic Games getting credited with helping make this game, and it turns out the portion that they make is the smaller part. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's definitely the better part.
My camp is just beyond that
But
gate.
yeah, it does raise some questions.
Welcoming.
Huh.
I hate the cog.
We have wine and cheese.
Well, yeah, remember, we're near Paduk's
Paduk, you got the stereotype wrong. It's the French who love wine and cheese. Seriously.
Hey, Paduk's not very good at this whole stereotype thing.
I guess, to be fair, wine and cheese is used for welcome committees as well. Alright, let's see how these people
Gotta still need those transitions where no one talks, though. Good times.
Next.
Some things never change, too.
Hello?
Anybody
Nobody
home?
watching the door, Paduk?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure whatever happened to the camp, no one's here anymore.
Are you guys stranded?
Everyone here fought for something. No stranded here.
Who are you fighting for now?
Don't ask stupid questions.
Wow, they put on a real welcome home party for you, Paduk.
Baird, you literally just ended in. Give it a minute.
So, how close is this boat you're gonna give us?
Please shut up for a second.
Yeah,
okay?
thank you.
We need to head toward the rig.
I love you, Carmine, but time and place.
Alright, then let's see.
Maybe the game couldn't handle rendering all the committee here, and they just vanished from the code.
That is a slight
This is not a
possibility.
good sign.
No.
Those generators are usually good for several days.
Boy, this has just been the
Paduk,
off
what's
day
going
for
on
you,
here?
hasn't it, Paduk?
Yeah, Paduk doesn't seem to be all that lucky.
Shit.
Appearances.
Actually, okay, here's one thing.
Lambents.
Oh snap,
Oh,
lambent humans.
they turned into They actually brought back the human Lambents. Oh shit.
Well, remember to what are markers in
but
doing at the same. No, sorry, Marcus and Anna doing at the same time. This is happening.
No. But I did took your words. I thought that the Lunar Laments would have not showed up in the series after that encounter.
Actually,
on the place where Dom's wife was born.
Wait.
This takes place before that. So, yeah.
Not only that, too, but we did encounter more human lambents even after that. Remember in the other city where we did a favor for that gangster guy? There were human lambents in that city as well.
Alright, the guy voiced by the rapper. Ice-T. We got Ice-T.
You know, okay. Which do you think was better for Ice-T? Which do you think was better? Which do you think was better for Ice-T? This or Tango?
I'll have to open this myself.
This, obviously. That's not even.
I mean,
that's not even a
I like the comic, but the movie was just a bad adaptation overall.
Also, what was up with the Warriors of Virtue being in that?
Furries, Jova. Lots of furries.
Shit happens, Jova. Shit happens.
On the other hand, Warriors of Virtue is quite an over-the-top mess. It's not.
Oh, great. More laments.
I still find it how that. Suppose. What was that movie? Rated G? Or P? Or
I
PG?
forgot.
It was G or PG. Why?
I mean, because, saying shit like 4 times in the span of 10 seconds, that must have bumped up the rating.
Oh, you'd be surprised. PG movies occasionally could, and supposedly nowadays can get away with saying the S word nowadays, somewhat.
Oh, yeah, but it's usually just like one time. They said like 4 times in 10 seconds.
Are you talking about Tanko or Warriors of Virtue?
Warriors of Virtue. Remember, it's like that moment where the villain is asking the boy like a revelation thingy because he thinks he can predict the future, and he tells him shit happens, and that makes the villain go ape shit. Actually, I have to see the movie again because there's so much I forgot.
It's like the kids like shit happens, and they're like what, and then the kid repeats shit happens, and then the villain's like shit. And that girl that portrays him, like, so they're all suddenly saying it.
Oh,
And it's just, and it's a moment that's just so weird because up until that point the dialogue has been so vanilla, and then suddenly everybody starts cursing like sailors, and it's just like what?
I will say this.
The different writers suddenly take over.
I will say this. I declare that Warriors of Virtue. Warriors of Virtue. I will say this. I declare that movie deserves to be remembered at the very least for the villain. Holy.
Oh no, the villain is a living Looney Tune.
Actually, that's actually a good question. What actor played him? Let me check.
I don't know.
But yeah, you know one thing I've noticed. For as much as we can say that, oh, this was leftover stuff from Gears 3, one thing that is original to Judgment but is better is Paduk here. Like, this campaign is already giving us more focus on Paduk than the actual Judgment campaign did. Oh, I mean, I
do some McFadden.
I did.
Mostly because the whole Judgment itself idea, the whole trial thing, that was such a terrible idea. That should have never been put into the game to begin with. It was such a terrible idea.
Perhaps what this is telling us is that the whole trial thing was what was weighing down Judgment's main campaign, and I can see it, because the whole trial thing forces us to have to focus on, the bigger picture. Granted, that's no excuse for them not trying to flesh out the characters better, but it's sort of like how we noticed how at the end of Judgment's campaign, how the characters were suddenly acting more spunky and like they knew each other better after the trial thing was all done with and Karn had been killed.
I'm getting a little lost in here, Paduk.
There's a lift on the roof that takes us to the emulsion rig deck.
Anyway, the actor is Angus McFadden. British, I believe is a spell, but more like Scottish.
I know, I was about to say, that sounds like a Scottish name.
But, the villain from Warriors of Virtue. But his resume is, big, but not with many notable roles. The one that I can recognize here, he was one major character in Braveheart. He started his career there. He was a person in Equilibrium, as a sort of recurring character for the movies Soul 3 and 4, and a bunch of TV stuff for 1 episode onward.
Anyway, everybody, let's see if we can find
the emotion deposit that Paduk has mentioned.
Maybe then we can get all we need so we can get back to Marcus and I'm sure nothing bad will happen on their end. Don't
Oh,
worry.
absolutely. See ya.
All right, see ya.
See ya.